Have you ever found yourself in a quiet moment, perhaps in a cafe just like this one, watching the world blur behind a curtain of rain? You watch the drops trace uncertain paths down the window pane, and you feel a sudden, profound sense of stillness. In that quiet, the noise of the everyday world fades, the deadlines, the notifications, the endless to-do lists, and a deeper question surfaces. What is all this for? This constant striving, this race we all seem to be running. The clacking of keyboards that fills our offices, the meetings that fill our calendars, the sleepless nights spent chasing a future that always seems just out of reach. If we trace it all back, so much of it seems to converge on a single, powerful point: money. From a very young age, we are taught a simple story. Money is the measure of a life well lived. It is the key that unlocks the heavy door of worry and opens onto a sunlit field of freedom. But have you ever had a nagging feeling that the story is more complicated? Have you ever wondered if, on our desperate search for that golden key, we have instead been building ourselves a cage? A beautiful cage, to be sure, with comfortable furnishings and a lovely view, but a cage nonetheless. This isn't a video that promises easy answers or a 5-step plan to financial enlightenment. Instead, think of this as an invitation to join me on a quiet exploration of one of the most complex and charged relationships in our lives: our relationship with money. Together, let's try to understand if it is truly the wings that give us flight or the invisible chains that hold us in place. If you've ever felt the weight of this question, then let's walk this path together for a little while. To begin this journey, we need to look deeper than just budgets and bank statements. We need to look inward. The great psychologist Carl Jung gave us a concept that is incredibly helpful here. He spoke of the shadow, all the parts of ourselves that we don't consciously acknowledge. It's not evil or bad, it's simply what lies in the dark of our awareness. The shadow holds our hidden fears, our secret desires, our deepest insecurities, and our untapped strengths. And our relationship with money is, for most of us, one of the largest and most powerful shadows we carry. Think about it. This money shadow is formed by generations of ancestral fears about scarcity, by the childhood messages we received about wealth and worth. It's where we hide our secret desire to be seen, to be validated, to be told that we are enough. It's the home of the quiet, persistent, and often unconscious belief that our value as a human being is somehow tied to the number that appears on our paycheck. The purpose of looking at this shadow isn't to judge ourselves for what we find. It's the opposite. It's to bring these unconscious drivers into the light, because anything that remains in the dark has power over us. It controls our decisions, fuels our anxieties, and dictates the course of our lives without our permission. By gently turning to face our money shadow, by understanding its fears and its longings, we begin to take its power away. We stop being controlled by it. And that is the first and perhaps most important step toward true freedom. Once we start to see how our hidden beliefs shape our pursuit of money, we can begin to recognize the architecture of the cage. It's a structure built not of iron bars, but of our own desires and fears. This is the great paradox of the golden cage. The relentless pursuit of financial freedom can often lead to a more subtle, more profound form of imprisonment. Psychologists call it the hedonic treadmill. It's a state of being you might recognize. You work tirelessly to reach a certain financial goal, a salary, a savings amount, a home. You believe that when you get there, you will finally feel secure, happy, and free. And for a moment, when you do achieve it, you do. There's a brief, wonderful sense of relief and accomplishment. But then, almost imperceptibly, the feeling fades. The goalpost shifts. The new salary becomes the new baseline, and you find yourself looking toward the next, higher goal, convinced that true satisfaction lies there. The joy is always in the future, never in the present. We are running constantly but staying in the same emotional place. This treadmill is reinforced by what many call the golden handcuffs. As our income grows, so does our lifestyle. We become accustomed to a certain level of comfort, a certain way of living. And in doing so, we can become trapped in jobs or careers that drain our spirit, simply because we need to maintain that lifestyle. The very wealth that was meant to free us now chains us to a path we would not have chosen. And all around us, the silent walls of the cage are fortified by comparison. We look at others, at their curated lives online, and the joy of what we have is stolen by the anxiety of what we don't. The cage becomes a lonely place, filled with the fear of losing what we've built and the quiet desperation of wanting more. But this is only one side of a very complex story. To deny the power of money to liberate would be to deny a fundamental reality of the world we live in. We must hold both truths at once. While it can build a cage, money can also absolutely be the key. At its most basic level, money is freedom from the crushing, daily weight of survival anxiety. The constant worry about rent, about bills, about putting food on the table, this is not a small thing. It is a heavy psychological burden that consumes our mental and emotional energy, leaving little room for creativity, growth, or peace. To be free from that baseline of fear is a profound form of liberty. Beyond survival, money buys one of the most precious things in existence: options. It is the freedom of choice. The choice to leave a toxic work environment without having another job lined up. The choice to provide the best possible care for a sick parent or child. The choice to say no to projects that violate your values and yes to those that ignite your soul. It is the choice to rest when you are burning out, to take a sabbatical, to invest in your own education and growth. And perhaps most importantly, money can buy back our time. It allows us to outsource tasks we don't enjoy, freeing up hours in our week to be present with our families, to pursue a passion, to simply sit in stillness. It provides the freedom to be generous, to support causes we believe in, to help a friend in need without hesitation. Used consciously, money is not the goal itself, but a powerful tool that can unlock these deeper, more meaningful forms of freedom. The key is real. The freedom it offers is tangible. The question is, what door are we trying to unlock? So we arrive at the heart of the matter. We have seen the shadowed walls of the golden cage, and we have felt the solid weight of the key in our hand. If money can be both, a source of imprisonment and a source of liberation, then it forces us to a profound conclusion. The problem is not the money. It never was. The problem lies in our definition of the destination. The problem lies in the word we are all chasing: wealth. What if, for a moment, we allowed ourselves to completely redefine that word? What if we stripped it of its conventional meaning? For most of our lives, wealth has been presented to us as a number, a target, an amount of money in an account, a certain net worth, a specific annual income. It is something to be accumulated, counted, and compared. But what if true wealth isn't a number at all? What if it's a feeling? What if it's a state of being? What if wealth was measured in the number of unhurried mornings you've had this year, sipping coffee while the sun comes up with nowhere to be? What if it was counted in the depth of conversations you have with the people you love, where you feel truly seen and heard? What if wealth was the feeling of a healthy, energetic body that can carry you up a mountain or play with your children on the floor? What if it was the number of sunsets you've stopped to watch, the books that have changed your mind, the moments of creative flow where time itself seems to disappear? When we begin to look at it this way, a whole new landscape appears. True wealth reveals itself not as a destination to be reached, but as a quality of life to be lived right here, right now. It is an abundance of time. It is the richness of our relationships. It is the vitality of our physical and mental health. It is the freedom to be curious, to learn, to contribute, and to experience the simple, profound beauty of being alive. From this new vantage point, money is transformed. It is dethroned from its position as the ultimate goal and reassigned to its proper role: a tool. A powerful, versatile, and important tool, but a tool nonetheless. And like any tool, its value is not inherent. Its value comes from the intention of the hand that wields it. You can use a hammer to build a home that will shelter your family for generations. Or you can use that same hammer to tear everything down. It is the same with money. We can unconsciously use it as a tool to build a more comfortable cage, a cage of comparison, of lifestyle inflation, of fear. Or we can consciously pick it up and use it as a tool to build a bridge that leads to more time, more learning, more connection, more health, and more of whatever it is that makes our soul feel truly alive. The choice has always been ours. We just forgot that we were the architects. So if we are the architects and money is our tool, how do we learn to build with intention? How do we build a life of true wealth instead of a more comfortable cage? The path forward is not about complex financial strategies. It's a much quieter, more internal journey. It begins with turning around to face the very shadow we spoke of earlier. It begins with integration. The first step is simply awareness. It is the courageous and gentle act of having a dialogue with your money shadow. This isn't about spreadsheets, it's about stillness. Find a quiet moment and invite your own story to the surface. You can ask yourself with genuine curiosity and without any judgment, what is my earliest memory of money? Was it a memory of scarcity or of abundance, of conflict or of security? What emotions does that memory bring up in me today? What am I truly afraid of? Is it the reality of not having enough to survive, or is it the fear of being judged by others? Am I afraid of failing, or am I secretly afraid of succeeding and the pressure that might bring? And finally, am I using money to build a life, or am I using it to hide? Am I spending to mask an insecurity, to project an image of success, or to fill a feeling of emptiness? Be gentle with yourself as you explore these questions. The answers are not the point. The act of asking, of bringing these hidden drivers into the light of your own compassionate attention, is the point. This is how you begin to take back your power. From this new ground of awareness, the second step emerges naturally: action. But not the kind of action that feels like restriction. This is about alignment. We can transform the mundane act of spending into a powerful practice of intention. Instead of thinking about budgeting, which often feels like deprivation, we can reframe it as intentional allocation or conscious spending. Before you make a financial decision, big or small, you can create a small space of mindfulness. In that space, you can ask, is this purchase, this investment, this use of my resources aligned with my true definition of wealth? Is this dollar building a bridge or a bar on my cage? Is it buying me back time? Is it nurturing my health? Is it fostering a deeper connection with someone I love? Is it helping me learn and grow? Is it simply bringing a moment of uncomplicated joy into my day? There is no right or wrong answer. The answer for a new parent will be different than for a young artist or someone nearing retirement. The goal is not to judge the purchase, but to make the choice consciously. By doing this, we transform our relationship with money from a series of reactive, unconscious transactions into a continuous, mindful practice of creating the life we truly want. Freedom, then, is not a number you reach. It is a practice you cultivate. It is found in the space between a desire and a decision, the space where you choose awareness and you choose alignment. And so we find ourselves back where we started, in that quiet space, watching the rain trace its path down the glass. Perhaps we see it differently now. Money, in the end, is like this rain. It is not good or bad. It is not moral or immoral. It is simply a form of energy, an amplifier. Rain doesn't decide what to grow. It simply nourishes the seeds that are already planted in the soil. If the soil is filled with seeds of fear, comparison, and scarcity, the rain will bring forth a crop of anxiety. But if the soil is cultivated with seeds of purpose, connection, and self-worth, the rain will help a vibrant and truly wealthy life to blossom. The entire journey, this whole conversation, has not really been about money at all. It has been about us. It has been about peeling back the layers of our own stories to understand what truly drives us. Perhaps the most powerful question we can ever ask ourselves is not, how can I make more money? But rather, who am I truly without it? What is left when you remove the job title, the bank account, the possessions? The answer to that question, the core of your being that remains, is the only foundation upon which true freedom can ever be built. And it is a foundation that no market crash, no recession, and no loss can ever take away. Thank you for walking this path with me today. It's a journey I am still on, and it's one we are all on together. I want to leave you with one final, quiet invitation. Take a moment for yourself after this video ends. And in the space you create, I'd love for you to answer this in the comments below. For you right now, what is the one word that truly defines freedom? Thank you for listening.